is Godly playing? It looks like it's the Mordex. I was curious if he was going to play the Terrorist that he had in the 2v2 space, but it looks like it's all about that Mordex. We're seeing a lot of chatter about Mordex being kind of the pick for the weekend.
Yeah. And that chatter is coming out from a lot of different players as well. The past few events, for example, when talking about Sandstorm again, he's had like a different legend prepared. Yeah. And going into this one, he's kind of like, I'm all in on the Vortex. There's a lot of other players that are the same. Talking to players from Europe as well. Oh, that toxic was fantastic. There's a lot of EU players, maybe not a lot, but there's a few. I know that I talked to EU players that said this before. They're like, Godly, why don't you just go all in on the Mordex? Why don't you just start with the Mordex? Because he's played so many different legends, but they're thinking that a Mordex is what it's going to need for him to really get that first LAN win. And so seeing him opening up with this against Jetbean is really cool. But Jetbean on the other side, fighting him with the Ditto, even though it's an epic crossover fight long as it's the same kid.
Well, the big question is, like, I think there's a lot of North American Mordexes. Obviously, there's a lot of Mordexes in general. He's like one of the most played legends. But, like, at top level EU, are there that many Mordexes that Godly can mirror match? Like, how much experience does he have in that mirror match?
I mean, he is, I guess he's the top. He is the top Mordex, right? But like relatively, he didn't like get his name on the character is what I think you're getting at. And you're right, outside of Knees and I guess Fridazol, Scythe isn't really played that much in the region. So you make a good point there as we're going further into this game number one. And Brawlhaven is a stage that we're going to be seeing a lot more of today just because they simply can't have it in 2v2s. And it will be interesting to see how many players leave this stage open for those really early knockouts like we saw Godly with that down and say, oh, Jetbean gets him with the Nair, but doesn't get the knockout right afterwards.
Yeah, wasn't able to follow up with like a side air, something with a little bit more variable force. There's the side air. Finally cleans up that stock, but like Jetbean's taking a lot longer to get
the double
stocks.
Godly vision on that. Oh, yeah. Losing that stock and just flying on left and right. There goes Jetbean off the top though, under 2 minutes. Godly keeping this solidly in his favor. And I imagine that he's getting ready to go towards a 2 stock here. Let's see what Jetbean can do with the Gauntlet. Oh, I thought the Gauntlet was prime, but it's actually Scythe v Scythe right now.
Yeah, I feel like Jetbean's leaning more and more into this Scythe as this game has progressed. Like, didn't really feel the Gauntlets early on, and now it's just all about this Scythe for him.
Yeah, nice neutral light into side air. Let's see what Jetbean's able to do here while he's on ground. Downer starts, but Godly just dodges straight up, gets the revenge hit with that neutral light, and now Jetbean in this edge guard scenario where if Godly catches one landing with a down sig, I mean, it's the same deal, but he goes for the Sire instead. That's the... Wow,
he knew. He was celebrating. I was like...
I really was like, that's the wrong way to use the down sig, but no, letting that out. Seeing that he didn't have the jumps to make it back, and that's going to be game 1 for Godly.
Did 0 damage. That's how good of a player he is.
0 damage gets the win. That's
Godly
right.
Famously, he's won a tournament while DC'd, right? Not one. He won a game.
Oh, the match against Machete?
Yeah, famously.
Oh.
So he in theory has won while doing 0 damage. Right?
Yeah. For those that don't know, Godly's internet crapped out, but then the bot won, and so he got the game win. That's how good he is.
That's my hero.
Yeah, and there he is. Now he's going into Apocalypse here in game number 2. Luckily, right, we don't have to really worry about his personal connection going down. As we're going into game number 2 here against Jetbean, who's staying with the mirror match.
I like this map swamp. That soft platform is going to help Jetbean a lot more, especially because like that's one of the things that was really struggling, or a struggle point for him, was trying to find a landing point against Godly once he was off stage.
Yeah, and Godly, when he was airborne without the platform, was not getting hit in the skies. Oh, that's like a carbon copy of game 1. Same exact
almost the same timing too.
I think that one difference is that Godly has a little bit more damage. Jetbean used that platform to get that string, that classic Scythe string where you're just kind of like not bringing them back to the stage, so you ladder them up to the top until they can't get any more. And Jetbean with his own down, so he get a weapon throw. Godly can make it back. Goes to the ground to catch the neutral sig. And I think I like that too. If Jetbean didn't dodge in the way that he did, I think that would have connected and he would have been able to get a chase dodge back. Or were you talking about you like what Jetbean did?
No, I like what Jetbean did. Like obviously a great attempt from Godly coming in, gravity cancel neutral sig if he gets the hit, chase dodge up. But I like that Jetbean went down low enough and then spot dodged where he did, where it's like, hey, there's a potential here where if I need to, I can kind of convert this into some more damage. I'm like in perfect position for a punish. But he also recognized, oh, that's all of Godly's movement. I don't have to do anything else.
Yeah, Jetbean much better in game number 2 here. Godly getting that delayed recovery read, though. It's not going to take him off the top. Side light into down light, trying to get those dodge down reads that Godly put out in game number 1, and Godly just mixing it up too well. And Jetbean now going down to 1 stock once again.
Weapon spawns delayed because of the juggling from Godly. Haven't seen too much from Jetbean's gauntlets, but
that was something.
Yeah.
Gauntlet recovery not knocking out as early as he'd like on Apocalypse.
Didn't chase dodge.
Yeah, that's rough. And Godly's getting so much damage off of that whip. Look at this. He could just take the stock off of that. Jetbean sweating back to the stage, puts out a down to catch a landing, and Godly dodges right past it. Has the scythe now. And that neutral light and recovery almost connects. Jetbean gets the side air, but this entire time, Jetbean's just struggling to finish off the stock that he could have just had if that chase dodge came through. Oh.
Every time he misses the opportunity to get that KO, he's going to just be reliving that missed chase dodge, and it'll eat away at a lot of players. But he does manage to get that recovery. Going to juggle for a bit, and yeah, going to be sticking with the scythe.
So went from white to orange there off of that, and it's a big deal for Gauntlets because Gauntlets don't have anything guaranteed off of that side light. As much as Godly wants to make you think otherwise with how often he follows up with it. So that down light is really the only way that you can get that knockout off the top. Jetbean, however, staying in this, does dodge down. Godly doesn't get the read that time through the recovery, but that neutral light will send Jetbean far, and that means a number of moves coming out from Godly here on the board X will be able to finish it. Cider just barely not knocking out because it bounces into the stage. Is this going to be it, dude? It's
close, especially, again, that soft platform's on the other side, so Jetbean just struggles to find a landing point. When he's stuck on that corner, Godly's so good at just covering all of his options.
It's been a few months, so I don't feel like it's as relevant to say, haha, Gauntlet neutral light actually knocked out.
Yeah.
But that was
still.
It was a lot of damage that was on Jetbean for that to happen, because the way that the force scales on that is so much less than it used to be in the past. When I think about how it used to be like the power of Axe neutral light, I was like, wow, Gauntlets really had
it all.
Really had everything. But there was that dodge that you were talking about that was so well placed by Jetbean. Because like most players would immediately buffer the unarmed downlight, and then that gets caught by the neutral signature. And he just dodged after he evaluated that Godly could not make it back.
It's like he got in position to bait out the NSIG, and then he had a perfect position afterwards with that spot dodge. I just really like the decision there. Didn't really lead to too much else, but now we're here in Game 3. Godly could kind of walk away with this one if he gets another big lead into that down sig on the first stock.
And I think that Jetbean agrees with the sentiment that you had about the platform. I think it helped him quite a bit. It dealt with the air problems that he was having. And outside of dropping that was a great neutral sig from Godly. Outside of dropping that recovery, Jetbean was keeping it pretty close. Godly's just like, if you drop your guaranteed punish against me, you're going to take 800 damage for it. And that's exactly what we saw in Game 2.
Yeah, I mean, that's what happens a lot at high levels. Not going to finish off that first stock with the down sig. This time it's a recovery, but still, Godly just maintaining that initial stock lead. But like at high level, you know you can't give an inch to any of these players because they're going to take it and they're going to push it as far as they possibly can.
Yeah. Nice falling nair from Jetbean. Can he get something? Okay, does dodge down, picks up the scythe. I can't believe that nair didn't connect. And Godly ends up dodging right onto that platform, gets the neutral light, nairs him back to the side of the stage, and the down six starts pressuring Jetbean there. Having those signatures where there's just no chance for your opponent to punish you, even if it whips, is such a great position to be in. And Godly with that slider has himself in that position once more. Ground pound goes a little too low as Jetbean recovers high, but this is all Godly, this entire stock here. And Jetbean's already behind one.
Yeah, this is just getting worse and worse for Jetbean. He's trading out with Godly, but he's basically a full stock behind. So this is going to get dire if he doesn't get this stock soon. Dare goes for the weapon toss. Okay. Will convert to a KO.
It's a nice modification off of the Sandstorm where you do that down air into stage ground pound. It was like, force was a little too high, but he got the weapon throw right afterwards and got it. That slide charge down heavy. Nicely done. Okay. Swiping him off the right side of the stage. Jetbean now on winner's bracket stock here against Godly in Game 3.
Look at Godly in the bottom left, cool, calm, and collected. This is just like, this is a day in the ranked lobby for him right now. He's just, this is just nothing to him.
Yeah, I feel like for Godly in particular, you could say that about any.
He's a pretty stoic in-game player.
Yeah, but when it comes to this one in particular, he is just playing to his game plan. And Jetbean has not broken it in a way that's made him have to panic at all. That neutral light so well pivoted. Let's see, recovery just forcing the dodge from Jetbean, and now with Jetbean throwing that weapon away, even if he picks up a scythe, he takes up so much damage for it. Dodges up to avoid one Sarah, but still on the side of the stage. Down sig will send him flying to the left. Godly knows that's game. Takes it 3-0 over Jetbean and moves further on into the winner's bracket.
Really clean play from Godly. Like, I think almost every single situation where he was able to force Jetbean off stage, it was a struggle for Jetbean to come back up. He just could not get past the down sigs from Godly, or even like those jump side airs that covered the high recovery. So Jetbean just could not find a way back up.
Yeah, looking at the replays here, This is the first down sig. It is the first down sig of the game. Sends him flying. And usually